Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Arif Azizi. Today I would like to present individual assignment ITT440, which is file transfer protocol FTP. Definition of FTP is a standard communication protocol for transferring computer files over a computer network from a server to a client. FTP is based on a client-server architecture, with the client and server having independent control and the data connection. FTP users can connect anonymously if the user is set to allow, or they can authenticate themselves using a clear text sign-in protocol, usually in the form of a username and password. How FTP session works? They have two, which is active mode and passive mode. For the active mode, the client begins listening for incoming data connection from the server on a random port, which is the client send the FTP command port to inform the data the server on which port is it listening. Nowadays, it is common for the client to be protected by the firewall. For example, the built-in Windows firewall or net router, for example, an ADSL modem, which prevent incoming TCP connection. The other one is passive mode. The client send a PSP command to the server via the control connection, and the server respond with a server IP address and server port number, which the client used to initiate a data connection to the server IP address and server port number received. The importance of FTP: first, it enables the transfer of file back and forth between computers or through the cloud. Second, user require an internet connection in order to execute FTP transfers. And the third, FTP is an essential tool for those who build and maintain websites. This is the Ubuntu server and Ubuntu client. At the left is Ubuntu server and the right is Ubuntu client. For Ubuntu server, first of all, we use sudo nano which is my file name .c. Okay, this is the code for my, first of all, to create a file name hf, to receive the data and write into the file. This is a code to define the IP and the port 192.168.158.10, which is my server IP address. To define the variables, create UDP socket. Okay. Okay. For the client, sudo nano FTP client, which is my client. Okay, this is the code. First is process or data sending. Process, terminate session. To define the IP and the port. Variables defined. UDP socket. Read file. Ada error. Data sending, if it is success, and it will shut down and disconnect the data. Right. That's all. Thank you.